Good evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants. And of course, I'm your host, your YouTube messiah, and often imitated, never duplicated superstar Tim Vicious. And we are going over Raw this week. Was in Cleveland, Ohio, not that far away from the Vicious Studios here in Erie, PA. And well, folks, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was offered a chance to, go to Raw, even before the show, meet the stars, mingle with everyone, hang out backstage, all that, Vince, he crept up in my DMs, said to me specifically, "Hey, pal, listen, I'll offer you a chance, sit ringside at Raw tonight, get to see the show, meet the stars. I'll even give you your own box seats. All you have to do is just one thing. And that's just simple. All you gotta do is stop with these damn rants of yours." And well, obviously, seeing as on how I'm here, I'm pretty sure you all guessed what my answer was. In which case, you could hear him, "God damn it, man, that's not what I wanted to hear. You know I want this show." Sadly, Vince, we ain't for sale. Well, no, that's not true. Actually, we are promotional whores. You want us to sponsor you for whatever. By all means, feel free to hit us up on here. But we're not for sale like that, where you could just pay us off and then boom, the show's done. But either way, Monday Night Raw started out. Actually, it started out kind of funny. I cracked up at it. They showed previously on Raw. And then they showed the highlight reel of Roman winning the title and the build-up between him and Samoa Joe. It started out very much so like soap opera, and all I could think, previously on Monday Night Raw, and as the hourglass turn, so do the days of our lives. Just honestly, that's all I thought of, and I'm okay with that, more so just because however you want to look at wrestling, whether it's athletics or storytelling or choreography or even, and I hate using this word, fake, but really it's kind of like soap operas with spandex. But yeah, I mean, much better acting than what you see on soap operas, because honestly, given what I saw on General Hospital, I mean, seriously, just, ugh. Also, don't ask why I would be watching General Hospital. Let's get back on the track. Started out with the soap opera intro, and then Samoa Joe out in the ring, talking about on how, week after week he's been here, making a point to Roman, and on how the Shield, on how he's been systematically taking out the Shield, consistently attacking Roman, making his point there. His first night on Raw, goes and attacks Seth Rollins. Here's his snap like a twig. Ambrose being like a little cockroach he is, avoiding him at whatever turn possible. He's going to get his hands on him later that night. And then says, "Now, Roman, you may have a match with Cesaro later tonight, but I want you now." So he calls him out, and you see in the back Seth watching on the TV. Dean comes over. "Oh, what's going on? Hey, you see this? Hold on, Roman. Go get Roman. Go get him. Go get Roman." So, and then he continually keeps calling him out, bugging him, picking at him, saying on how, it's because of him the Shield don't have the tag titles. He's going to take the IC title away from him eventually, and all that jazz. And then Roman's music hits. They come out and they start brawling for a good bit. And then Sheamus and Cesaro come on out, and they proceed to go and start throwing in some punches on him as well. And then out comes Seth and Dean, and then they wind up beating them all down. And so, yeah, they wind up, they took out the entire Shield. So, yeah. So, that was it. Now, now let's get on to the first match of the night. Mickie James and Bayley going against Paige and Mandy Rose. And, you know, I made this comparison earlier on the Twitter at Tim Vicious, and, well, Mandy Rose is pretty much Ava Marie with talent. And I'm not saying that in a negative way, because, honestly, you look at Ava Marie, and, you know, Ava Marie, I'm pretty sure she could make a gay man's jaw drop to the floor and make an impact so hard it would crack the ground. You know, she's built fucking just wah, like that, you know. Yeah, Mandy Rose, very much so, same way. And again, Ava with talent. But either way, as far as this match goes, you know, Mickie and Bayley, yeah, in control right before the break happened, right after the break. Next thing you know, boom. Heels are in control. Bayley's pretty much team punching bag. You know, I like Bayley and I like the Bayley character, but honestly, you need to see that character evolve a little. You know, and probably the best example of a character evolving had to be with Kevin Owens. You know, he came in as a prize fighter, and then he made himself the face of America. And then after that, you know, he made himself now, you know, the victim, you know, of Shane McMahon's consistent attacks. You know, all that. And, you know, he's consistently changing and evolving. You know, Bayley, she needs to do something like that also. You know, and I'm not saying, you know, I'm not saying like the Smarky McSmarkerton thing with like, oh yeah, just make her heel. No, far from it. You see, what I'm saying point blank is, yeah, have her be the Bayley character that we all know and love, but put a little edge on her. Make her start getting pissed off and be like, you know what? You know, I done had it with this shit. I'm gonna beat a motherfucker with this pipe right here. You know, something like that. Just something relatively simple. That's all I'm saying. Now, honestly, as far as the match goes, I mean, there wasn't really much for it going for me. I mean, Mandy Rose wound up getting the pin on Bayley. I didn't, you know, I'm not going to lie, I didn't really see too much into it. My son was watching the show with me, and he needed me to go and help him look over, make sure he had stuff ready for school at that moment in time. So I didn't necessarily catch the finish, and, well, unfortunately I ain't got DVR, so I can't rewind that shit no more. But anyways, next matchup, Finn Balor going against Curtis Axel, in which case Curtis selling the neck brace, Joe Gardner level selling the neck brace until takes it off. Ha! I don't need it no more. Ha ha. And then Bo and Curtis beat the crap out of Finn before the bell rings, in which case he gets about a minute and a half of time to beat him up until Finn gets his breath, beats the crap out of him, and then proceeds to, you know, beat him. Now, honestly, from a creative standpoint, Finn, great character. Really am getting annoyed at the fact that, you know, they just keep saying, first Universal Champion, okay, how about we move past that? Put him in a spot. You know, if you're not going to put him in the Universal picture, simple enough. After, you know, we'll just say, Roman versus Samoa Joe. After, you know, if and when Samoa Joe takes the Intercontinental title off of Roman, then have Finn transition towards that and then have him be an Intercontinental Champion. Have him chasing for that. I'm just saying, you know, it's something creative, you know. you know, have him going and chasing after the belt. Have him be like, you know, like Rudy, you know, that scrappy little fighter that you just can't help but cheer for. You know, something like that. Anyways, yeah, Finn wound up getting the win with this match. He did the coup de grace. Yeah, that's it. Next matchup, Fatal 4-Way Cruiserweight match. Now, this isn't so much breaking news, but sorry for saying that part, but the reason for this match, for those who may have lived under a rock or first time watching this and getting clued in on wrestling, Rich Swann, who was set to fight Drew Gulak this week for the #1 contender spot for the title. Unfortunately, I believe it was either on Friday or Saturday, one of those days, he was arrested and charged with domestic violence and imprisoning an adult, or not imprisoning, I'm sorry, you know, not allowing somebody to leave. I don't remember the full technical term on it, but something like that, you know, you know, like, basically like if you forced somebody to, like if you were forcing your boyfriend or girlfriend to stay and telling them, no, you can't leave, something like that. And, you know, I must just say this right now, I don't stand for that kind of shit one bit. I have lost friends and I have broken jaws seeing somebody go and try and make a woman into a punching bag. Heaven help if I ever see that motherfucker Chris Brown, because I don't care if he's got lawyers out the ass and more money than I'll get in a lifetime. I get a chance, better believe I'm gonna put everything I got into one good right cross on him. Anyways, Rich Swann was arrested on that. Since WWE has a zero tolerance policy in regards to that, he has been suspended indefinitely in regards to this. And so his spot was thus removed, so they had to do another Fatal 4-Way. Cedric Alexander, Tony Nese, Mustafa Ali, and Ariya Daivari all going against each other. Now there was nice action right at the start between Mustafa Ali and Cedric Alexander. These two guys really are pretty much the high flyers in it. You know, and honestly, I can't wait to see when Hideo Itami winds up eventually getting there, you know, because when he gets on 205, then he gets on Raw, and, you know, I just want to see, you know, Hideo go out there and just destroy and kick ass. You know, plain and simple. And now I'm getting sidetracked just focusing, thinking too much on Hideo. Get back on track here, I'm sorry. A lot of good action with this, you know, a lot of good moments. Drew Gulak was on commentary. Oh my God, is this guy... Drew Gulak is honestly... Drew Gulak right now, like this, is like wrestling's equivalent of Al Gore. And I mean that in the nicest way possible, because, you know, Al Gore even made a joke on himself before at the press corps dinner saying, this robot needed to recharge his batteries. Fucking Gulak is like that, you know? He's like that freaking dry-witted, annoying nerd that you can't help but laugh at. And I know, because I'm that fucking dry-witted nerd. But, yeah, he was just great all around. Honestly, Drew Gulak, hands down, hell of a good talent. You know, he's took a not-so-good gimmick and rolled with it and made it into something. Much like in the same way Daivari made polka dot something, baby. But yeah, back to this match. Great action all around. Probably the biggest spot of the night was frickin' Cedric doing an inverted Spanish fly into a lumbar check. Which case just... yeah. Match wound up coming to an end though when everyone was getting their... you know, everyone was doing their RAW, trying to get their spot, trying to get the last pin, in which case Cedric wound up hitting a lumbar check on Ariya Daivari. 1, 2, 3. That was it. So, next week it's going to be Drew Gulak versus Cedric Alexander. And as much as I want it to be Mustafa Ali, you know, and I'm not the only one, because my God, Mustafa Ali is just screaming with talent, the likes of which just wow, that just scream wow. You know, when there is chaos, there is opportunity. One of the greatest things I think I ever heard Paul Heyman ever say. And Mustafa Ali will get that opportunity. It's just a matter of when, not if. So, yeah, am I bummed that he didn't get it? Of course I am, much like everyone else. But I'm not going to sit there and like do 5,000, fuck WWE, they don't care about this shit kind of stuff on Twitter. You know? I got better things to do with my life. Yeah, fuck that. Don't go being near those kind of people that just consistently do that kind of shit the second the person they want to win doesn't. Anyways, next matchup, Cesaro versus Roman Reigns for the IC title. This, nice good start between these two guys. Really liked seeing on how... Actually, I'm sorry folks, before I get into that, I completely forgot. I brain farted. You know, there was a match after the Finn versus Axel. Thanks, Wade, for messing up my cue cards. No lie, folks. Wade, producer back there, he has the cards that just hold up what match was where, and he just... Wade being the lovable asshole he is, he decided to shift the cards around so that way I didn't see the match. Before Finn, or after Finn versus Curtis Axel, it was Seth Rollins versus Sheamus. So let's get into that match. Seth Rollins versus Sheamus. Now, what I really liked on this was right at the start, Seth was right on point, going after Sheamus, just hardcore, just boom, right at him. You know, really nice, really good. And Sheamus wound up working him, sorry, knock something over. Sheamus just, boom, working on Seth's knee. Real nice. You know, liked seeing that on him. You know, and I say this all the time. You know, heel, target a limb. Target that limb and work it the whole night. Don't just work it once or twice and then just have the other person be like, and try and limp around for the rest of the night after you only hit it like 2 or 3 times. But there was really great back and forth between these guys. This was probably hands down, personally, match of the night for me. So this was the match of the night right here. This was a good match. Absolutely loved it. You know, probably one of the most impressive things was with, I don't even know why this isn't considered a new finish for Seth, but goes up, does the superplex, and then floats over, and while Seth selling the knee hurting, on one leg, hoisted Sheamus up for another one, and then wham, hit him down with the Falcon Arrow. Beautiful. And the fact that he did all that on one leg, that's the reason, there may be a reason why he is called the CrossFit Jeebus. You know, just saying. Anyways, after a little bit more back and forth between the two, match came to an end when Sheamus went to go for the brogue. Seth caught him, boom, super kick, then high knee right to the mush, 1, 2, 3, that was it. Now that I'm done that, now we can get back on to Cesaro versus Roman. I am, again, sorry on that. Please leave all the negative comments down below addressed to Wade about on how that shit spot just now happened, as well as on my Twitter at Tim Vicious. Please say, your producer Wade sucked. Yes, we're going to make that a trend. He doesn't believe me. Anyways, Cesaro versus Roman, nice start, you know, nice good amount of physicality between these guys. Cesaro just literally boom, slams Roman up against a barricade right on the outside. What I like seeing also, Cesaro targeting Roman's shoulder, you know, which again ties into what I was saying with Seth, you know, getting his knee worked on. You know, he'll, you know, work a different limb in every match, you know. Have one match work the neck, one match work a shoulder, one match work a hand, one match work a knee, another an ankle, back, you know, gut, chest, whatever. Just make each and every one different, because if everyone just works the shoulder or the knee every match, every night, every match on the show, then you're just going to sit there and be like, really? I mean, this is it? Yeah, this is it. But yeah, really liked it. It's a special Cesaro, man. He was pulling out the arm locks on him. Pulled out Fujiwara arm bars, cross faces. He was just working it non-stop, to the point where when Roman was getting his comeback in, selling that, you know, he got a jolt of adrenaline, went to go for a Superman punch. Cesaro just straight up, wham, clubbed that arm down, and then gave him a European uppercut. Just beautiful, absolutely beautiful seeing. Now, Roman got the win, spear out of nowhere, 1, 2, 3. After that though, Samoa Joe came out, proceeded to go and put Roman in, proceeded to come out. Joe came out, choked him, all that jazz. Yeah, look, we're getting the build up. You know, we're getting the build up, yes. Or actually, no, I'm sorry, Joe didn't come out. I'm sorry, I brain farted again. That one's all me. That one was all me on that one. I'm sorry on that. But either way, next matchup, this is why I thought he did, because Ambrose versus Joe. This I really wanted to see, and I was looking forward to seeing, and it didn't disappoint me one bit, because Ambrose and Joe, they had a good, nice kind of brawling feel. And Jason Jordan came on out. He was sitting up at the entryway with a chair, much like Joe was last week, just watching like, But he couldn't pull off that cool, cocky sit like Joe was like last week. Like, you know, like that dude sitting there like, when when he sees his favorite girl, walk up on stage at the club. Jordan didn't have that look. But Jordan, you can tell they're running with him. They're gonna make him a heel. You can see it now. They're gonna make him be a heel. You know, disrespecting Kurt Angle. Fuck you, Dad. You weren't there for me. Fuck you. You know, going out like that, busting everyone's, you know, trying to bust everyone's head, making a point, you know, trying to, you know, just fucking everything up, you know. He's basically going to be like that 16-year-old rebel without a cause kind of idea. That's on how I'm seeing it. But he came out, threw Joe off for, back to the match. He sat down there and Joe's just looking like, fuck's this kid? Which gave Ambrose a chance, boom, come at him. These two guys had nice, good brawl kind of feel, you know. Really liked seeing this match between these two, you know. In which case, this was really more so as close to, this was like seeing Combat Zone versus Ring of Honor. And I say that because even though Joe spent a lot of time in TNA, honestly, he's a Ring of Honor guy thrown through. There's no way around that. You know, Ring of Honor has built a lot of great names. There's no doubt on that. But either way though, back to the match at hand. You know, at one point, Joe and Dean were both knocked out outside after Dean did a suicide dive. Jordan came down, picked up Ambrose, threw him in, which then, you know, confused the hell out of, like, what the fuck? This kid is really going to get his ass whooped. I mean, he asked Kurt to challenge for a fight with Joe. no, this kid's gonna get his ass whooped. There's no way around it. You know, started getting into shit, you know, and that, you know, started getting into his shit. Ambrose started getting on him too, and knows to where, you know, next thing you know, where actually Jordan was up on the apron, Ambrose was up on the top rope, hit him with an axe handle, hit Joe with an axe handle, had him down for a 5 count. Ref only got there for a 2, and then he proceeded to get in Jordan's face. Jordan held him like this, like he was getting ready to go and suplex him, which then Joe came out, dived on him, and yeah. Anyways, match wound up coming to an end with Samoa Joe choking out Dean Ambrose, and that was it. So next match up now is the main event of the night. Braun Strowman versus Kane. And, you know, I gotta say, this real nice promise idea, but utterly disappointed as far as what the ending goes. You know, Braun powered on Kane right at the start. Kane threw out 2 choke slams at Braun. Braun still fought through. They started to fight outside the ring, got into the crowds. Braun speared Kane through the barricade, and then the ref called for a double countout. I'm not even joking right there. He called for a double countout. Afterwards, though, we got a nice brawl between the two. You know, they both had stairs. Ah, boom! Smashed them against each other. Braun looked to go and try and lodge something at Kane's throat to do it again. Couldn't. Had a table, set it up. Could hear the... What caught me, though, was when they started chanting, "We want tables, we want tables," and then Braun pulled it out, and he just stopped, and he kind of like... I don't know, from a fan perspective, that kind of looked like he was like, you know what, yeah, I'm definitely a face now. But got in there, set it up, and then next thing you know, Kane cracked him with a chair. They started going at each other some more, and then eventually, you know, Kane did the Undertaker rise, and then Braun did, and then Kane was just like, "Oh, shit, 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 you're still alive." And then Braun proceeded to beat the shit out of Kane, and then gave him the power slam through the table, and that's how it ended. So, this match was supposed to determine who's going to, quote-unquote, face Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble. They never they never said if it was a #1 contenders match or anything like that, but either way, the fact that, you know, we still don't have one, so my guess next week they're going to have another match. If not that, then probably say, you know what, Brock, you're going to fight both of them, and it's going to be a triple threat. Which case, in a way, that can work because Braun could beat Kane, which then gives Braun the title win, still makes Brock look good, so that way he doesn't take a loss. And then, according to rumors, apparently Brock is supposed to star as Drago's son in Creed, in the next Creed movie. I take rumors with a grain of salt. I don't believe them until I see it. But if that is the case, you know, then that gives Brock enough time to go off, do that stuff, and then come back and, you know, challenge, and then get a rematch for Braun. But either way, that is it for this. That is it for this week's show, folks. So do not forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the other episodes. Look for me on Twitter at TimVicious. Also do have another account, Tim_Vicious. Also make sure you check out the info down below for the Dad Show. It's a lifestyle podcast, storytelling podcast, whatever kind of podcast you want to see it as. Also, folks, on that Facebook gimmick, Tim, Ash, and do not forget to follow all of these cool-ass cats right here on the Twitter. Axel Mulligan, make sure you check out Axel's newest project, Wrestling Review, where they talk about British and European wrestling. Kenny Killer, my two co-hosts for the Dad Show. I am Danny Sunday, and my executive producer for Vicious Rants, Oliver Ben. Make sure y'all check out his music. It's on iTunes, Spotify, and such. He did provide the music for this week's show, as well as hit him up for one of these Ollie Rewind Ben shirts. Show the man some love and support. Cranky Asshole, Aaron _DeBoer, and Dazzy MWT. Now, folks, I always tell y'all, you love me great, you hate me. Fuck you.